Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Odin's Movie Blog. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope you're doing well. And today, I'm going to be talking to you about the Lion King live-action slash animated film. Really not live-action, completely animated. And here's the biggest problem already with this film, is the fact that they tried to play it as a live-action film by, oh my gosh, look at all these amazing effects. Look at how lifelike everything looks. And yet, as we all know, when it comes to animated films, this is even true of Alita, there's only so far that animation can actually go. Animation can only go so far, but still not be able to really capture lifelike qualities. Now, I would say that this is definitely impressive, and I would say that if there's anything and anyone I need to give kudos to, it is the visual effects department, because I think that they did an incredible job being able to render these images and being able to make these things look so lifelike, including in their movements. That is something that deserves recognition. The problem, though, is that this film is a remake of an animated movie, of which the animation was crucial to the storytelling of the film, because there are certain songs, there are certain moments, there are certain emotions that can be conveyed in animation that cannot be conveyed in live action. The reason why the Lion King live action is so problematic is because all the lions and all the creatures and everything about it is meant to be taking place in the real world. The problem, though, is that a lion cannot show emotion. A lion cannot smile. A lion cannot laugh. A lion cannot show the wide range and breadth of emotions that can be shown in an animated story. And so basically what you have happen is you're watching the movie, and it's essentially almost a shot-for-shot remake of the classic animated story, but it's not able to capture the same emotion, and it's not able to capture the same style. It's not able to capture the same type of storytelling that an animated story can convey and can tell, because it's able to take in an animation, it's able to take live action, or it's able to take real world concepts, but then able to twist them a bit, because obviously it has a lot more, it has a lot more ground to play with. It has a lot more ability to play with certain things and certain emotions. To have a lion actually be able to show emotion, to have bug eyes, to be able to have these various things, to have a monkey called Rafiki actually show these crazy emotions, which, guess what, don't actually happen in the film. And that's the biggest problem too, is that the changes that they end up making to this film are necessary changes, because they keep trying to play that live action so hard that they had to take away a lot of hilarious moments from the original film. Like, for example, obviously, because you have actual live action CGI creatures like Timon and Pumbaa, you don't have that scene where they're able to do the luau scene, which is freaking hilarious, because that's too wacky. That's something that can only happen in an animated movie. So instead, what you have is you have them just be actual creatures that are still yet saying lines and speaking and still saying funny things, but because they cannot convey the emotion or do some of the crazy and wacky things that they tend to do in the animated show, in the animated movie, it just stilts them. It keeps them from being and from living up to their full potential. And that's the biggest problem I have with this film. Again, I think Jon Favreau has done a very good job, I mean, even going back to The Lion King, of being able to be a part of these movies and projects that convey these really beautiful moments, that convey these really beautiful images. But at the end of the day, because it's so soulless, because there is no life, because when you go to the scenes like the death of Mufasa, and I felt nothing from a scene that, even from when I was younger, affected me so much, made me so upset to the point of tears, even as a kid, and now as an adult, even just thinking about that scene and how powerful it is, because you see the sadness in you see the sadness in Simba's eyes. You see the fear in Mufasa's eyes when his own brother, turns on him. You don't get that in this movie, because they're spending so much time and so much effort and so much money trying to make the effects look so good and so lifelike that they end up missing out and killing the lifeblood of the movie. It's amazing to me that a movie that's supposed to be all this live action and amazing effects ends up having so little life to it. And at the end of the day, all I can say is that these types of movies need to stop. And I know that some people got upset with me on Twitter because of the way that I worded it, saying, oh, audiences are idiots. Well, here's the thing. Audiences are blindly going to support these films because it has Lion King 2019 on it. They're failing to recognize and failing to look into just looking at the trailer and saying, oh my gosh, this does not look very good. You know what? I'm going to stay home, save my money, and if I want to bring my kids, I'm going to show my kids the original movie, because you know what? It's an actual cartoon that actually has a lot of, really funny stuff to it that they can really enjoy from the comfort of our own home, instead of going out and wasting money on a movie that's a total cash grab opportunity that's probably going to make $1 billion But literally, other than the money and the effort they did to put into the effects, they did not worry or concern themselves a damn bit with how it got conveyed on the big screen. And so I am going to be critical. I am going to call out audiences for supporting this nonsense because, as I said, if someone is going to be critical, if someone is going to be, hey, we need to have new films, we need to have, a more original content, we need to stop remaking and rebooting every single thing just for cash grab opportunities, we cannot also at the same time go and continue to support these films. That's why I'm glad I have my alleged Fire Stick. That's why I'm glad that I have the ability to be able to still talk about these things and to try to do it as an open and honest way as I possibly can. As far as a grade for this film, I'm going to give this film a C-. Obviously, I think that the only reason why it's even in the C range still is because the visual effects are just that damn good, but the story does not do anything to add to it. In fact, because they play with this live action nonsense, this live action CGI nonsense, it takes away any and all heart from the film. The heart of this movie is what makes this movie important. The heart of this movie, the life of this movie is what keeps you invested in the characters. But when you try and focus so much on having these so-called live action scenes and live action creatures to the point where you have no emotion and therefore no life in any of the characters, you don't have a compelling story and you don't have a good movie. But anyway, guys, what's y'all's thoughts about this? Did you like The Lion King 2019? Did you see The Lion King 2019? Do you understand where I'm coming from, though, where even though obviously some people don't like the fact that I'm calling audiences out by criticizing them for enjoying the film, if they happen to enjoy it. Remember, I always say this. Again, I'm the critic who's a cynic. So if you're not expecting a cynical point of view on these things, I don't know what you've been listening to. But at the end of the day, too, I am going to call people out in this way because obviously I think that anyone can have their own subjective point of view. If you subjectively enjoy a film, that's fine. But my only thing I've always been consistent on is I want you to at least be able to objectively understand why this film is problematic and why we need to stop supporting these types of films and why we need to educate ourselves, and that includes me and anyone else, as to what these films are about, what these films exist for, and also try to make sure we spend our money as wisely as we can. But anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts about all of this stuff in the comments below. If you like this video, smash that like button, give me a thumbs up, give me a subscribe. It helps me out a lot. You are all amazing and beautiful people. Have a wonderful day, and as always, God bless.